Welcome back. Hope you are getting a lot of conceptual clarity and you have learned how to name the compounds in case of organic chemistry. Till you have any kind of problems you are facing, you just can write in the comment section below and I will be taking up in the next videos. Okay, so in this particular video, I will be taking up next 5 questions of this chapter. The chapter is alkyl and aryl halides. We have already discussed first 3 questions and now we are moving into the next 5 questions. So I will be taking up next 5 questions in this video because they are short questions. Okay, they do not have any subparts. So from question number 10.4 to question number 10.8, I will be covering in this particular video. So let's now move into it. Let's see what is the statement for question number 10.4. Okay. So question number 10.4 is, which one of the following has the highest dipole moment? Which one of the following has the highest dipole moment? So we have been given 3 compounds and we need to find out which one out of the 3 will have the highest dipole moment. The first compound is dichloromethane. Second one is trichloromethane, that is chloroform. Third one is tetrachloromethane. Now, before knowing which one will have the highest dipole moment, in any compound, if you need to know whether it will have the dipole moment or not, you need to know the structure of the compound. Okay. Now, when carbon forms all the single bonds, it is always sp3 hybridized and it is having a tetrahedral structure. Now, in these three cases, it is having all the single bonds. It is either forming bond with hydrogen atom, or it is forming bond with chlorine atom. All the single bonds are there. This means in all these 3 cases, carbon will be sp3 hybridized and it will have tetrahedral structure. So first of all, we will be drawing the tetrahedral structure of the compounds. You can just draw it like this. Now, out of these 3, the third one, CCl4, it is the most symmetrical structure because all the atoms attached to the central carbon atom are same. Okay, and they are arranged in the tetrahedral manner. All these compounds are tetrahedral in structure, but the most symmetrical structure is for the third compound. Now, what is the direction of the dipole moment? When we see the direction of the dipole moment, it is always from the atom which is having lesser electronegativity towards the atom which is having higher electronegativity. So carbon atom is less electronegative as compared to chlorine atom. So in this case, I'm taking up the third case first so that you can understand it better. So this will be the direction of the dipole moment for this carbon-chlorine bond. Similarly, these will be having like this. So these will be the directions. Now, what will be the resultant dipole moment? Now, if I consider these 2 chlorine atoms, the resultant dipole moment will be somewhere here. Sorry, it will be in this direction. Okay. Now, if I consider these 2 chlorine atoms, it will be somewhere here. You can consider any 2 chlorine atoms in pairs and see where is the resultant dipole moment going. And you can just see what is the direction of the resultants. From in any direction, if you consider the resultants, they will be opposite to each other and they will be cancelling out each other. So because CCl4 is a symmetrical structure and all the resultant dipole moments, they are in opposite directions to each other, they will be cancelling out each other. So the resultant dipole moment will be 0. So in case of CCl4, the resultant dipole moment is going to be equal to 0. Let's now move into the first compound. So this will be the resultant dipole moment. The direction of the dipole moment of these 2 chlorine carbon bonds will be like this. And for this one, it will be like this. Now, when we are talking about carbon-hydrogen bond, hydrogen is slightly less electronegative than carbon, than carbon. Hydrogen is slightly less electronegative than carbon. So in this case, the direction of dipole moment will be from hydrogen towards carbon, like this. Okay. Now what will be the resultant of these two chlorines? Here, somewhere here it will be. Now what will be the resultant of these two bonds? That is the carbon chlorine and carbon hydrogen bond. Because the dipole moment of carbon chlorine bond is more and the value of dipole moment of carbon hydrogen bond is lesser, the resultant will be in the direction of carbon chlorine bond, because the dipole moment of carbon chlorine bond is more as compared to the dipole moment of carbon hydrogen bond. Okay, now just like in this case, in the third case, these were in the opposite direction and they cancelled out each other. Here also the dipole moments are in opposite direction. The resultants are in opposite direction, but they will not cancel out each other completely, because this value, when we are considering both the carbon chlorine bonds, the value is higher as compared to this resultant dipole moment when we are considering carbon hydrogen and carbon chlorine bond. So there will be some cancellation of the dipole moment, but it will not become zero. So it will have some resultant dipole moment. We need to tell which out of these three will have the highest dipole moment. Now this is out of the race because it is having zero dipole moment. Okay, now these two we need to compare. First we have done that this is having some resultant dipole moment. Now let us move into the second compound. I think I have drawn both these similar. So here I just change this compound. I'm making it Cl, Cl, H and H. Okay. So here it will be like this, like this, like this, and like this. Now this is CH2, Cl2. Now what will be the resultant of these two bonds, that is carbon chlorine bond? It will be in between these two. Okay. Now just see this molecule carefully. You will find that the direction of the dipole moments of hydrogen carbon bonds is also in the same direction as that of the resultant of two chlorine carbon bonds. Resultant of two carbon fluorine bonds and the dipole moments of carbon hydrogen bonds, they are in the same direction. This means that these two carbon hydrogen bonds, they reinforce the resultant dipole moment of carbon chlorine bonds. So here there was some kind of cancellation. There is no cancellation, but there is reinforcement. This means CH2Cl2 will have the maximum or the highest dipole moment. Hope this is clear to you. If there is any kind of doubt, write to me in the comment section below. Okay, so let's now move into the next question of this chapter, question number 10.5. So the question number 10.5 is, we have been given a hydrocarbon and the formula for which is C5H10. Okay. The statement says it does not react with chlorine in dark. Okay. We can just write it like this. No reaction. Right. But it gives a single monochloro compound C5H9. Monochloro means one hydrogen will be replaced by chlorine atom. Monochloro compound in bright sunlight. So when it is reacted with chlorine in bright sunlight, then it gives a monochlorinated compound. Identify the hydrocarbon. Now, just look at the general formula of this hydrocarbon. It is fitting in CnH2n. Okay, I hope you know this is the general formula of alkenes and cycloalkanes. So this is for alkenes as well as for cycloalkanes. This means this compound can either be an alkene or it can be a cycloalkane. Okay, now First observation is that it does not react with chlorine in dark. So it cannot be alkene. Why? Because alkenes react with halogens in dark to give electrophilic addition compounds. Okay, so we can just write if it is an alkene. If it is an alkene, it is not an alkene, but if it were an alkene, then this reaction would have happened. An electrophilic addition reaction. But it is not happening. This means it is not alkene. It can be only a cycloalkane. Now, why cycloalkane? Number one, it is fitting in this formula. Second is, when it is reacted with chlorine in bright sunlight, it gives monochlorinated product. So monochlorinated product can be obtained only if it is a cycloalkane, because in case of cycloalkane only, all the carbon atoms will be equivalent and all the hydrogen atoms attached to the carbon atoms will be equivalent. Monochlorinated product can only be obtained if all the hydrogen atoms are equivalent. If the hydrogen atoms are not equivalent, then there will be multiple substitutions. Many monochlorinated products will be formed. Along with that, dichlorinated products will also be formed like that. So here we have sunlight. Like this. Okay, so it is when if it is reacting in dark, this means it would have been a alkene, but it is not reacting in dark, so it cannot be an alkene. So we moved to cycloalkane. It can only be cycloalkane because it is giving monochlorinated product. This one, because it is giving monochlorinated product, this means all the hydrogen atoms are equivalent in the molecule. Okay, hope this is clear to you. Let's now move into the next question, that is question number 10.6. Write the isomers of the compound having formula C4H9Br. C4H9Br. So it is CnH2n plus 1 Br. So what is the formula, general formula for alkanes? It is CnH2n plus 2. So this means from this alkane molecule, one hydrogen has been replaced with bromine atom. Okay, so it is fitting in this formula. So we can just write it CH3, CH2, 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 Br. One can be this. This is 1 bromo, butane. Then it can be CH3, CH2, CH, Br, CH3. That is, it can be at the second position. 2 bromo, butane. Then it can be CH3, C, CH3, okay, CH2Br. Okay, so this can also be 1. So it will be 1 bromo, 1, 2, and 3, 2 methyl, 3 carbons in the parent chain, propane. Okay, next can be tertiary butyl bromide. That is the common name. We will be writing the IUPAC name also. So this is tertiary butyl bromide. Okay, so the IUPAC name will be, this will be the main or the parent carbon chain. So it will be 1, 2, and 3. 2 bromo, 2 methyl, propane. 2 bromo, 2 methyl, propane. Hope this is clear. So let's now move into the 7th question. So the question number 7 is, write the equations for the preparation of 1-iodobutane. We need to prepare 1-iodobutane. So first of all, let us write the formula. we need to prepare this compound, not bromo, sorry, it is iodo. It's not bromine, it is iodine. Write the equations for the preparation of 1-iodobutane from, first is 1-butanol. 1-butanol. So it is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH. We need to convert it into 1-iodobutane. Okay. Now this is the preparation of an iodoalkane from alcohol. Iodoalkane from alcohol. So it is having special reagent that will be used. It is iodine in the presence of phosphorus, red phosphorus. If you use iodine in the presence of red phosphorus and react it with alcohol, it gets converted into iodo compound. Okay. Then the second one is, we need to convert 1-chlorobutane into 1-iodobutane. Okay. For this, again, a special reagent. This is something you need to have it in your mind, that how will you convert alcohol into iodo compound? How will you convert a chloro compound into an iodo compound? So you can just react it with sodium iodide in the presence of acetone as a solvent. You will get iodo compound. Okay. The next one, third one is but1-ene. We have been given but1-ene. So it is CH3, CH2, CH double bond CH2, but1-ene, and we need to convert it into iodobutane. Now here in this case, we cannot directly use HI and apply anti-Markovnikov's rule and get this. No, because anti-Markovnikov's rule, that is the peroxide effect, it is only for HBr. It is only for HBr, not for HCl, not for HI, not for HF. Only for HBr. Okay. So first of all, what we will do, we will use anti-Markovnikov's rule. We will convert this but1-ene into 1-bromobutane. Then we will convert that 1-bromobutane into 1-iodobutane. 1-bromobutane into 1-iodobutane. Okay. So you can just do it like this. HBr in the presence of peroxide, you can write H2O2 here, or you can just simply write peroxide. Here anti-Markovnikov's rule will be used. So according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule, the positive part of the addendum, it will go to that carbon which is carrying greater number of, the positive part will go to that carbon which is having lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Reverse is the Markovnikov's rule. So lesser number of hydrogen atoms is present here. So it will be CH2, CH2Br. Now you can just simply convert it into iodo compound using the same reagent, NaI acetone. Okay, so this is how you can convert but1-ene into 1-iodobutane. Hope this is clear. Still you have any kind of problem, I'm here to solve it. And if you want to learn directly from me on my online classes, just go to the description of this video and reach out to me. Okay, I'm here to help you out. And in the next video, I will be taking up the next questions. Stay tuned. All the best. And I just want to say one thing to you. Do not depend upon the videos only. Do a lot of practice yourself. Do not seek the solutions to all the questions through the videos. Go for excellence in the concepts. If you go for the excellence in the concepts, you will be able to solve the questions yourself. You will not need anybody for that. You will not need to watch the videos. Go for the excellence in the concepts. Go for conceptual clarity. Okay, I will see you in the next video with next questions.